Hey everyone, it's Donnie Parker again, here to go over our brief summary of chapters 4 through 6 of communication. Chapter 4 starts off by giving us the definition of a language. It's a structured system of signs, sounds, gestures used and understood to express ideas and feelings within a community, a nation, or a cultural tradition. Language has the power to influence perception or create biases for everyone. And there's basically four elements of language, and that is sound, words, grammar, and meaning. Words are basically symbols themselves, and we as human beings give them meaning. We do that by denotation, which is the precise definition from a dictionary, and we do it by connotation, which is the use of the word in context. Languages can be misunderstood, they can be polarizing, sexist, and shape the attitudes of individuals or groups. Chapter 4 also talks about how to use language effectively. You should use accurate language, use the words with their precise meanings. You can use vivid language, which would be animated and trying to make it interesting for someone to show importance. And you should try to use appropriate language as well, not profanity or stuff like that. We'll move on to chapter 5. We are defining nonverbal communication. And nonverbal communication are behaviors or symbols and attributes or objects, whether intended or not, that communicate messages with social meaning. Some characteristics of nonverbal communication are that it occurs constantly, like eye contact or smiling, frowning, or even ignoring. It depends on a lot of times the context and related to culture. It's really our primary means of expression. It's oftentimes more believable than even verbal communication. Eye behavior and facial expressions and body movements are different types of nonverbal communication, as well as touch and giving people space, and sometimes even being silent is a good nonverbal communication. And chapter 6 goes into the difference in listening and hearing. It brings me back to the movie White Man Can't Jump, where Sidney tells Billy, says, you're listening, I mean, you're hearing Jimi Hendrix, but you're not really listening to it. So hearing is actually the process of sound received by your ear, and listening is actual construction of meaning. We should strive for effective listening, and sometimes we listen just to obtain information, while other times we listen to evaluate or judge the information. Sometimes we just listen for pure enjoyment. Chapter 6 also helps us understand the concept of critical listening and improving your listening competence. It talks about how technology can alter our ability to listen, and it basically ends with the intellectual or the intercultural listening, which can be helpful, and you can use nonverbal communication when you're dealing with languages and stuff. So there you have our summary of 4 through 6. Thank you, and have a nice day.